Hello, TandLers, and welcome to another episode of TandL Talks, the podcast for, about, and featuring fabulous educators. As you know, in each episode, we focus on the people and practices that are helping us grow stronger together as a learning community. I'm your host, Nancy, and today's episode is a celebration of teacher voice and leadership at the district level. You're going to hear from Clairese Jorgensen, a dedicated fourth grade teacher from Dessie Evans Elementary, who brings curiosity, energy, and heart to everything she does, including her service on the district's elementary math cadre. Our cadres are teams of teacher leaders who guide critical curriculum work, from aligning assessments to refining pacing to identifying what students really need to be successful. This isn't theoretical work. It's hands-on, classroom-driven, and collaborative. And teachers like Clairese are the ones who make sure the work reflects real classrooms and real students. In this episode, Clairese talks about how she found her way into education, what led her to say yes to a cadre, and how the experience has helped her grow, not just as a teacher, but as a leader in her school community. She also shares insights into the importance of collaboration, the power of teacher voice, and why every educator has something valuable to contribute. This meaningful conversation reminds us how important it is to invite teachers to the table and how impactful it can be when they accept that invitation. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to TandL Talks. Today we are talking with Clairese Jorgensen. Clairese is a teacher in our district, and she is also serving on our math cadre, and we want to hear a little bit about her experience as a cadre member. So welcome, Clairese.
Thank you.
Can you just tell our TandLers out there a little bit about your professional journey, where you're at now and how you ended up there?
Yes. I started in 2017 at Shaw Road as a para, and then I switched over to Dessie Evans as a para in the RAP program, and then I decided, hey, let's be a teacher. So I did my student teaching at Dessie Evans, and then when I graduated, I was very thankful that I was able to get a job teaching in fourth grade, and that's where I've been ever since.
Great. And this was your first year on our math cadre, right?
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
So what did you think being on a district-wide cadre would be like, and how close was that to what actually happened?
I didn't really have any type of expectation about what was going to happen when I got here, but when I did get here, it was amazing to work with Michelle Canyon. Like, she is so good at what she does, and she's so knowledgeable about math, and I was really excited to work with her.
Mm-hmm. And she's a fourth grade teacher at Northwood.
Yes, she is.
And she's been on the cadre for several years.
Yes, she has. She's so knowledgeable.
Yeah. So what kinds of work did your math cadre do this year?
This year, the math cadre, we worked together to work on the common assessment piece. What we were noticing is that the district wanted us to focus on the first module in Unit 5, but we as teachers decided that that wasn't giving the kids enough information for SBA testing to help them. And also, by using the common assessment to see how well they were doing, it didn't give us an opportunity to go back and help them if they weren't meeting grade level. So what we did was we switched it. Now some of the common assessments are like checkpoints. So that way we can assess, are they meeting grade level? What do they need help with? And we can help them before we get to that main test at the end.
Right. The work that the cadre has done over the last several years, but especially this last year with common assessments, is just phenomenal. And I so appreciate you being part of the cadre, because I tell people all the time, I can sit in my office and make all kinds of random decisions. You're the teacher. You see the hands-on piece. And so your guidance and your work there, what do teachers really need, what do kids really need, is just invaluable, because I just don't have the experience to do what you can do. Right. So thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about something the cadre has worked on and how you've seen it being used in schools.
Like I said, focusing on the common assessments and aligning the standards with the report card was really important for this go around in the cadre. I had an opportunity to look deeper than I had before because I feel like sometimes when you're a starting off teacher, it's really hard to get everything because there's so much information to absorb. And I feel like even now in my 5th year, I'm still absorbing the information to make sure that I have it, know where to locate things. Like I had no idea that there was a whole page dedicated to let me know what the essential standard was and everything. I'm like, wait a minute, it's been here the whole time and I missed it?
That is one of the challenges, right? It's a challenge for our department how to communicate effectively with teachers, but then also for teachers to have the time to stop and look for a thing or read something. All of that is so complex.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to find time to do that.
Yes.
And yet, when you do it, it makes your life easier,
It really
right?
does. It really does.
So, is there anything that surprised you about doing work at the district level?
Yes. So when Michelle and I were working on putting the calendar together for pacing, I never realized how difficult that was to shorten and make a box blue or make the whole column red. It was like a really intense process, and I was like, oh, this is a lot harder than I really thought it was going to be. Okay. That to me, that I didn't know that was that difficult, but right. Michelle, like I said, she's a rock star and she walked me through it, and it made it a lot easier once we did it together. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things.
Right. One of the things that we're working on, we have, I think 9 schools next year who are going to be doing core connections, which is integrated scope and sequence. And we're working on doing pacing guides that have all of the curriculum all on one page per month. And also putting in district benchmark assessments. And even just doing that, we're learning, here are the things that, again, that we won't see, but until we put it on paper like that, that's what's making teachers crazy, is they've got all these 8 million things to do.
That is amazing.
We have to make an adjustment.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that Assistant Director Gina Vincent has been working on this summer. And I'm excited to see that roll out a little bit.
That's going to be amazing.
broader.
I think a couple of the ladies on the cadre were part of that, the pilot program.
Right.
2nd grade, 1st grade? I don't remember.
Yeah, we've had Pope, Meeker, Brulette, and Hunt who've done it, and then we're adding 5 schools this year.
That is so cool.
And our hope is to roll it out eventually. Once we get all the kinks worked out, we'll roll it out district-wide.
That'll be so helpful. So helpful.
Right? Yeah. So have you learned anything about yourself as a teacher by doing the cadre work?
Yes, I have. I've learned that you never stop learning.
Right.
There's always something else to try. I found that talking with Michelle again, some things that she does in her classroom is different than what I do in mine, and she shared her ideas with me and mine with her. And I was like, because I love giving new things a try.
Right.
Because why not? My way is not the best way, and I'm always open. And so I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That power of collaboration, not just at your school, but outside your school, is just so incredible.
Absolutely.
How has serving on a cadre influenced your teaching practice or leadership at your school?
I think that after I met with the first cadre meeting, I went back to my building feeling so empowered, hey, guess what? We're making these changes to make it easier and better for our lives and better for our students. I had the biggest grin on my face, and I would tell my students, I said, hey, guys, I served on the math cadre, and I'm making these things and these changes for you. And they were like, great, Mrs. J. It's math. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just keep my celebration to myself. I feel like serving on the cadre also is helping me to be a better leader for this coming up school year, where I will be the lead fourth grade teacher in my building. And so I feel like what I've learned from the cadre, I'll be able to take and use for not only for my classroom, but the people that work with me.
Right.
Yeah.
That is exciting. It also feels probably a little bit like you have a front row seat to some of the changes that are being made.
Exactly.
And you know why the changes are made.
Exactly. I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm. Teachers don't always understand the importance of giving their feedback. We've got those feedback links on all the curriculum maps, and teachers think, oh, nobody reads that or whatever. And I always tell them it's so important because the cadre really does use that.
Yes, I think our voices are really important, and if we feel like there's a problem with something, if we don't lend our voice, then it stays the same, and no one knows.
Exactly. Yeah. So are there other things that have helped you make you feel like your voice matters in the work?
I think that when we came to Alexa and we said, hey, can we change from this common assessment being the test to something else? She was, I expected her to be like, nope, we can't do that. The district says, no, this is what it is. Right. But she wasn't like that. She was like, you need to do what you feel is best for fourth grade, like what's best for your students. And to me, I felt like that was very supportive to hear what we actually had to say for when we made those changes. So, yeah, I think that's it.
How did you decide to put your name in to be on the cadre?
It was really that SBA issue. Like, we had done it for 2 years where we only taught one part of Module 5, and it's geometry. And then, you know, we were finding that the SBA was very heavy on geometry, but the kids didn't understand. They didn't know. They couldn't identify the different types of triangles. And so by doing that, I was, in my heart, I was like, I'm setting my children up for failure because they're not having all the information. And so that's why I figured, hey, I think it's really, really important that we focus on all of Unit 5 so that way they can get all of the information that they need so that they can show these that they understand and show the knowledge when they get ready to do the SBA testing. Right. Yeah.
What do you feel that you bring to the cadre that is unique?
I guess I'd never been on a cadre before. I'm not really a quiet person. I'm pretty vocal. Like, I will definitely speak up, like, for myself, for my students. And so I guess I bring loudness.
Volume, but you're saying great things.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, and you represent not just, of course, your experience, but also the experience of your colleagues, right?
Yes.
And one thing I love about our cadres is that we do have teachers from almost every school who participate in at least one cadre. We also have teachers with different experience levels.
Yes.
And I love that diversity of voice. I just think that makes the process and the products so much more valuable.
It really does. Like, I know that Michelle's been teaching for a really long time. I haven't been teaching for a very long time. That's why it was nice to conversate with her where she's not on my team and she does something totally different than what we do. And so I felt like that was empowering for me to be like, oh, hey, okay, I see.
Uh-huh. So why do you think it's important for teachers to be part of district level work like this?
So I think it's important because a lot of teachers have a lot of opinions, but if you keep your opinions to yourself, then no one knows and nothing changes. And so if you want to change something, you have to speak up. You have to join a cadre. You have to say, hey, this doesn't work for me. Can we try this? And I feel like if you just stay quiet and then it festers in you and you get madder and madder and madder and feel like nothing is working for you when you could have just said something.
Been part of the solution.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think. I feel like a lot of teachers feel like you said, oh, this form doesn't matter. Somebody else will do it. No one reads it. But when I met with Alexa, she went through all of it. Everybody, it came up anonymous, but our opinions do matter, and that's how we bring about change to make it better for our students.
Right. And again, teachers are the experts. Teachers are the experts. You are the expert in fourth grade instruction. We need teacher voices.
Yes.
We need your voices
Absolutely.
at the table.
Definitely.
So, Clairese, if there's a teacher out there who is maybe thinking about joining a cadre, but maybe they're not very confident, or they don't think they're just not sure, what would you say to somebody like that?
I would say, do it. Your opinion matters. Your information matters. You have something that other people don't have. It's your opinion, and that you should share it. And that way, if you feel like something would work better with your way, maybe they can give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Great. This is being on a cadre is a big commitment as a teacher. It's a big leadership role. What other leadership roles have you taken on at your school?
In my building, I and another teacher, Senora, we run student equity advisors.
Oh, great.
And in our building, we have 4th through 6th graders that come in. It's kind of like a leadership role to where we really get down and talk about different cultures and diversities of our students in our building. That group is also responsible for our Hispanic Heritage Month assemblies. They're responsible for our Native American, Dr. King, Black History Month, Women's History Month. Like, we take all of that in and we push that back out to our building. And I feel like that program has been so successful and helpful for students to feel like they really belong in a group to where they can come in, they can speak their own truth, and they have nothing to be afraid of while they're there. And I think it's just really empowering for students. And so that's something that I'm really proud of to be a part of.
That is really cool. That's very exciting.
Thank you.
Any other reflections on the cadre experience?
No, I think it's amazing. I think if you see it and there's an opening and they ask you, do it. Don't say no, just do it.
If a teacher out there has a question about what it's really like, would you be okay if they reached out to you?
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, Clairese, thank you so much for being here, a guest today on TandL Talks. Thank you also for your leadership with the cadre. I'm excited that you're going to continue that work.
Thank you so much.
It really does make a difference for all the kids and teachers in our district. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of TandL Talks. I am so grateful to Clairese Jorgensen for sharing her story and for the leadership, the reflection, and the heart she brings to both her classroom and her work on the math cadre. Her journey from paraeducator to classroom teacher to cadre member and equity leader shows just how many ways educators can grow their impact. Clairese reminds us that teacher voice isn't just important, it's essential. The decisions that shape curriculum, pacing, and assessment need to be grounded in the wisdom and experience of the people doing the work every day. And when teachers bring that expertise forward, our entire system becomes more thoughtful, responsive, and aligned to what students really need. Here are a few things I'll take away from my conversation with Clairese. Every teacher voice matters. Whether you're in your first year or your 15th, your insights and experiences are worth sharing. Collaboration builds confidence and clarity. When teachers work across schools, it sparks new thinking and real solutions. You don't need to have it all figured out to lead. Sometimes the best way to grow is to simply say yes. So here is your call to action. If you're an educator who's been thinking about stepping into a leadership opportunity, whether it's a cadre, a committee, or even leading a small team, I hope Clairese's story inspires you to go for it. As she said so clearly, if you want change, be part of the solution. Consider joining a cadre or reaching out to someone who has. Ask questions, offer ideas, be part of the conversation. We're building this work together, and we need voices like yours at the table. Thanks again for joining me on TandL Talks. I'm Nancy, and I will see you next time.